He had one from on Clonbanin and Kanturk up in there. I couldn't know what it was. I was not waiting to go on. The Sayyuri, old like my head. And he bought a house, and the whole lot of me, therefore, me and they can't suffer. Tommy Baraha, from all, I was not waiting to go on here. Tommy Baraha, and so I know, come on, Clonbanin come, so, and what's going on Turk to put here. I was a sinning creature, Clonbanin, who had a positive was the Clonbanin and he was so. We are assembled here today to unveil a monument to mark the location of the Ballybracan ambush, which took place on the 11th of October 1920. We are here assembled, not alone, to unveil this mark, but to pay honour and tribute to the volunteers from our own area who assembled here on the 10th of October and that year. We are here to pay tribute to them and to ensure that future generations will be aware of the important part played in this locality in the fight for freedom. Some great men assembled here, people like Ernie O'Malley, Liam Lynch, Sean Wylan. We could go on for hours naming the men. This was probably the first ambush for many of those people. And we can be aware of the excitement and the fear that they must have experienced. We had the privilege of knowing many of those men in years afterwards. We know them to be men of peace, men of justice, and it helps us to appreciate the great hardship that must be endured, the grave injustice that they must have felt, that they felt necessary to take up arms and assemble here and assemble in a number of other areas throughout the North Cork area and indeed throughout the country. They didn't just... And I would now ask Connie Foley to raise the national flag. Of Kanturk, son of Jerry Murphy's, and most people here would be aware of the valuable contribution made by the Murphy family to the War of Independence. And it is fitting that Denny Murphy would unveil this monument, and I now call on him to do so. Thank you, Denny. I will now ask Father Lawton to bless the stone. We are honoured to have amongst us today Con Murphy. Sorry, Father Lawson pronounced the David of the Rosary.
We'll have one deck of the Rosary, the glorious mystery of the resurrection, for the participants and the casualties here at this site. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit. Eternal rest grant unto them, O Lord. May they rest in peace. May their souls and the souls of all the faithfully departed, to the mercy of God, rest in peace tonight. Now,
We are honoured to have amongst us today Con Murphy. Con, I don't think needs any introduction. He is a great Irishman, an unashamed Irishman, who has given great service to his county and to his country. He started off as a very distinguished hurler with many overs, and on to Cork senior hurling scene, where he operated with great distinction for many years. And while he was recognised as one of the leading lights in that field, it is afterwards, as an administrator, that he became really, his great qualities became really appreciated. I remember when I started getting involved with GAA way back in the early 60s. Con was secretary of the Cork County Board. And if you wrote a letter to Con Murphy today, at that time, when he was only a voluntary worker, you could be certain of would apply the day after tomorrow. Con has distinguished himself as an administrator of the GAA, and particularly during his presidency of that organisation. And many times today, when I visit members of the nationalist community in Northern Ireland, when I hear come from County Cork, the one name that invariably comes out is the name of Con Murphy. And it's good to see that in the 6 northeastern counties of our country, which are still occupied by a foreign force, that the name and the efforts of Con Murphy are so much appreciated. We brought him along today, a very fitting person, despite the fact that it's a county final which would be a very busy day for Con, and he must get back there afterwards. He willingly accepted the invitation, and it gives me a great pleasure to present to you Con Murphy.
Here begin Ursula. Here agus mínta na hátaí se agritan ya. Is úntaach agus an tápta chun a cád é seo. Ó cád ar a bhfuilimiid chun a mós agus an óra thuirt. Le mínta na hátaí seo, bhí buinteachá leis an léacháin seo, san áit seo, timpeall 8 bliain óin. Creslíam go mór an seáinneamh leis an córáid seán de roiste agus a coiste agus iad san go léir a cabhaigh leis. Chun ionad agus líocháin chun an ionad agus an líocháin seo I mBéarad Marcán agus na líocháin eile sa ceanta seo Racúil, Tuairim Garibh agus Clonbanin a bhar cáil le leacht mar atá nach de thuing an seo. Ní córdúing riomh he mar a dúirt Seán, de rúd na daoine sy'n tréimhse tarúil sin I stair na hÉireann, timpeall 8 bliain ago amach sin, agus go tháinig iad son go léir níl bhain an seo ar a trid na tíre a bhí páirteach sy'n glúiseacht chun siirse na hÉireann a bhaint amach. Is an óir féile dósa bheith an teáineamh ar an ócáid seo, agus go riarg ar leabhartlaigh. As I have said Australia, this is a significant occasion. It's a simple one, yes, we might say, but very important and meaningful. An occasion and an event which we hope will have special significance for our young people in helping them to appreciate our history, which is now so often pushed into the background, and in a meaningful way inspire them and future generations to be the custodians as the people that assembled here on the 11th of October 1920 would have wished the future generations of Irish people to do, to be the custodians of all that is best for our people, both in their own place, which is here, and in our nation. It affords us too, and it is appropriate, as members of this generation who have reaped the rewards of so many efforts of that time, to renew our thanks for these dedicated people, most of them at that time in their early manhood, and acknowledge the debt we owe them for what they achieved for us and for our country. The debt we can confess today that we could never hope to adequately repay. I am deeply honoured to have the opportunity to join with you in this commemoration ceremony. And I think it's a source of inspiration to us all to think that so many people in this materialistic age, with a national spirit some people think very low, that can assemble here in a morning like this, finding all as it is, to spare the time to be with the committee, to be with us here, and we acknowledging the men of 1920, both here and across the land, who did their best to make sure that we could have the freedom we have today. It shows to me and it shows to us all that the national spirit can be motivated, and it's still alive in this country, and we should be proud of it. I wish in particular to compliment Councillor Jack Roach and the members of his committee, and all who assisted in any way in having this ambush site and the ambush sites at Rathcoole, Turingarv and Clonbanin adequately identified and marked with this splendid monument here today. Those monuments will stand as milestones in our history and be a simple, dignified reminder to this and future generations of an extremely important period in our country, and especially of the courageous, devoted people, men and women, not alone in this area, but throughout the land, who were involved in our struggle for independence at that time. Picture the situation as it was here in this very place and in many other similar locations almost 80 years ago, where groups of young people with limited resources in frugal times and little experience, even though in this particular area and this place we had such great men and revered leaders as Liam Lynch, Sean Mylan, Ernie O'Malley, guiding the affairs. But those people, when we think of it, they were engaged in conflict with the military might of an empire. This was the only way open to them in that era, and to their credit, they succeeded in ending a regime of oppression and domination in the greater part of our country, which is now an independent state, and we're extremely grateful to them, and we could never thank them enough. In this day and age we are not doing any flag waving about this, but it's a fact of history that shouldn't be forgotten and should be recognised. We say to any relatives of those people who may be here today, or wherever they may be, hold your heads high. Be proud of the people that you're connected with. They played their part, and we're proud of them. Since these dramatic times, we have been nation building. In fairness, it must be said, on an occasion like this, significant social and economic progress has been made. We are centre stage in Europe with a sound economy and a direct involvement in the development and management of the European community concept. Our leaders in government down the years must be given credit in this age of public cynicism and questionable behaviour on the part of a few personalities in public life, that the very many decent people in public life deserve and are entitled to our support. And you come to think of it, as we stand here today acknowledging these people, the progress we have made would not have been possible without the freedom and independence to work for it, which these men achieved for us. In view of all this, it is strange, when we gather here in a public-spirited way today, that some people today are advocating that our past should be let lie or be forgotten. Even, it must be said, in one of the finest educational systems anywhere, our Irish history is somewhat muted. The only conclusion one can come to is that such people, while entitled to their point of view, are ready to enjoy some of the fruits and efforts and sacrifices of other people. They have no feeling or understanding of the historic aspirations of the Irish people. It is quite true that the people of Ireland should not live in the past. Far from it. There is no future in that. What is important is that you and I and all of us, and those that come on after us, and particularly young people, that there should be a full appreciation of the past amongst us all, to assist us all, to commit ourselves individually and as a people, to make proper use of the freedom to control our own destiny, and to continually strive to build a better, stronger and more resourceful Ireland. No doubt about it, we are making progress, and we must be positive when we look to the future and give a full commitment to our country, both individually and collectively, which hopefully for most of us, or maybe for all of us, will remain our home. In a democratic society, it is the will of the people that will prevail and eventually decide our future. It is therefore up to us as a people that we continue to build on the progress made, and in so far as we can, put the elements in place to ensure the future. We will always need leaders, political and otherwise, and it must be emphasized today to the people that are not heeding our call for this, with the moral fibre, the ability, the integrity, and the strength of character to steer our course and determine our future and earn the respect of our people. We must support law and order in our country, which are the foundations of a democratic society. And at this point in time, they have a threat to us all, particularly at this time, which should lack such lack of respect for human life, and with crime and the drug culture doing so much human and material damage. We must ensure that we stand by Christian and moral values, which are essential to a stable and healthy society. We must have courage to stand up and be counted, individually and collectively, under pressure like that, to dispense of what we hold dear. We must rid ourselves, and it's extremely important we emphasize this at this present time, of unseemly conduct in public life. There is no place for it in Ireland, and ensure that our institutions of state and the public offices which go with them are not used for anything other than the administration of the country's affairs for the advancement of Ireland and its people, and in upholding the good name and dignity of our country at home and abroad. We desperately need a lasting peace, particularly in the 6 northeastern counties of our country, which have been wrecked with tragic loss of life, untold suffering, harassment, discrimination, particularly against the nationalist and Catholic community, some of which I have very much experienced, and in untold material damage to the whole structure of communities there. We are at a point where it is only right and fitting that we congratulate all responsible for getting some of the parties at least to the negotiating table. And in particular, we wish with all our hearts every success to our own particular people that are involved. A lasting peace will have a major impact on the whole of Ireland. However, it's hard to understand when you read this morning's paper at the time when we had hoped for signs of understanding and reconciliation. It is disturbing when we can accept that it is stated that there are moves afoot by the British government to proscribe the Gaelic Athletic Association in the 6 northeastern counties. This must be rejected out of hand and exposed for what it is, open bigotry.
Here, here.
Against an organisation which has no other motive other than to preserve our distinctive culture and our national spirit, and to promote our national games for the enjoyment and benefit of our people in the 32 counties of Ireland and in distant fields. We must be ever mindful in that context of our cultural heritage, and it is a precious thing and must be preserved. And everybody here must have a concept that we are here. This is our country. Thomas Davis, our local poet and historian of years ago, said we have a country. Well, we have a country. Let us be proud of what gives us our identity as people within that country. Our games, our language, our music, our songs are the essential characteristics of our race, and are the particular ingredients that give us our identity, and they contribute so much to the quality of life of our people. We are in the process, hopefully, of reconciliation and hopefully lasting peace. There is a lot at stake, and the very serious issue of unity of our people and our country is at stake, and it must be high on the agenda. The famous words of Patrick Pearse at the grave of Mother of must be borne in mind in pursuit of real peace. He then said, Ireland unfree will never be at peace. Well, Ireland is not free. The British presence has never made a contribution to peace in Ireland. The opposite has always been the case. Their departure, then, must be a singular issue in these discussions and negotiations, in whatever time scale. I am certain that those involved in the event which we commemorate here today and the people in which we are honouring, they would issue similar sentiments. So as we leave here today, thinking of almost 80 years ago and extremely proud of it, we must look forward. We must believe in ourselves as a people. We must hope for the future. We must long for the peace that we hope is around the corner. And we hope and trust that the eventual product of that peace will be that we will have a united people in a united Ireland. And as we leave here and move forward and look forward, we renew our thanks to those who made today possible, to bring us all together, to remind us of our past and to make us steely determined to make sure of our future. We trust that all who will observe this monument and the other monuments in all such places throughout the land, now and in future years, will be inspired with a practical patriotism. Our young people, have a belief in yourselves and your country. It is your home. Make it what it should be. And that everyone who passed by these monuments, we trust and hope that they will receive a signal in their hearts and their minds to work and contribute positively to a happy, peaceful and prosperous Ireland. This is what we all long for. This is what these people that we're honouring here today give everything they had for, including their lives in many cases. We must not let them down. Look to the future with confidence and have the courage to carry on. If we do that, we will have Ireland that we'll be proud of. United, strong, prosperous and happy people. With a meal of Ireland.
First, this is the first site that we came across where the monument isn't actually on the very site of the ambush. At Clonbanin, at Clonbanin and in that pool, it was on the site of the ambush. On this occasion, many people here will remember the old road that ran just behind us here. That was the actual location of this ambush. Therefore, we put it's within 5 or 6 yards of the actual location of the ambush. Historically, it has always been called Ballydracan ambush, and of course, it's in Mindahala. Ballydracan, the name Ballydracan Bridge, is the name given to a little bridge a half mile up the road, and somehow the authorities and the people of the times called this Ballydracan ambush, and keeping with that historical fact, we have put the word Ballydracan on the monument. There's a lot of people that I would like to thank in connection with today. I would like to thank Con Murphy for the wonderful and inspiring oration he gave us. I want to thank Ginny Murphy for unveiling the stone. Father Lawson for his lovely mass and for coming along to bless the monument. I want to thank my own committee, Deputy Vice Chairman Tom Meany, Secretary Danny O'Keefe, the man who does most of the work, and Vincent Garney and Liam Minahan, our treasurers, who see after our finances. And we have a host of other people who come along to our regular meetings and show an enthusiasm that is actually inspiring. People like Confit, Connie Foley, I won't even name any more of them. They have shown a commitment to this. I want to thank everybody associated with the store. The store itself, the large store, donated by the sugar company from their college very big to the courtesy of the Street Hampton market. The smaller stones were supplied by Capeen, Sandra Gavel back at Kane. And the work on the monument, as in the few of the previous ones, is done by John Sheehan of Oban. I'd like to thank John Kiley who came along today, his amplification, the market pipe band, Michael Fitzgerald, his video productions have been at all our monuments. And in that context I say that at the end of the day, we hope to make a historical video of all those ambushes and the fights that took place during them. We are confident that there are people amongst us all over the area who have memorabilia, papers or any documents related to those activities. We will ask them to let us know about them. We might photograph them, photocopy them. We guarantee to give them back in safety to the people who have them. But it would be very helpful if there are stuff in the area that we would know about it before we write any books or make any videos or any of that sort of thing. It would be important that we would have all the information possible. So I would appeal to people who may have it to come along and make it available to us. There are probably many people that I should mention here today, but it's a very fine day, and I know that many people are in a great hurry to go to the county final. People rang me as soon as I got the invitations. I want to thank in a special way, of course, the people who made the finance available for this project. Many people have sent donations and subscriptions to us, and so far we have been able to continue with our work. We have a number of other locations which we would like to erect monuments at, and that will of course depend on the generosity of subscribers. So if there are people amongst you who haven't yet subscribed and who would like to subscribe, I'm sure our Treasurer William Moynihan or any member of our committee would be only delighted to take it from you. I want to thank the Market Python and our flag bearer, Carl Johan. I want to thank everybody who came along today. Many people have come long journeys, people here from Cork City. I want to thank in a special way the organised group who have come from West Limerick to be with us here today. Because it's important that nowadays that we have good crowds at any function like this. Let all and sundry see that the spirit and the will of the people of Ireland is as strong today as it ever was. All it needs is good leadership, good political leadership. And by good political leadership, no doubt, the spirit and the support is there, and we can together help to build the Ireland that the men who assembled here almost 80 years ago dreamed of. Now, I want to thank the members of the Garda Síochána who came along, the media who advertised this event for us, Pat Casey who came along to take photographs. You know, I know that there are a host of people that I'm letting out, but I would ask you to forgive me if you said your name. Certainly, it is just that I can't think of it at the spot of the moment. Just I have been asked to announce that in Cork City on next Saturday night, there will be a commemoration in the Market Pipe Band to play our national anthem. And we will also ask you that when you pass this place, or other such places in the future, that you would spare a thought for the young men from our own area who put their lives at risk by coming along here. They were amateurs at the game, and not alone then, but the people who supported them. I think all the people who assembled here, first assembled and were fed at Conway and hence back in Bernardo, and they'll reach back there again, and no doubt. And when we are commemorating people like these, we must always remember the families, and particularly the women, who cooked and catered for those gallant men when they were on the run. So I would ask you that whenever you pass one of these monuments, all of them have now departed to their eternal reward, that you would say a prayer for them. And the greatest tribute that we can pay to them is to continue in our efforts to build today the Ireland that they dreamed of. Well,